Every single one of us grow up with the idea of wanting to become rich. Nobody wants to grow up to be poor, and when you grow up with this idea of becoming financially successful, we assume that means driving the nice car, living in the big house, eating at the fancy restaurants, going on the fancy vacations. But what we found out in America, being a consumerism society issue, can have a lot of those nice things without actually being able to afford them with the help of your Amex, with the help of your Visa, with the help of your Discover or other forms of debt. And so people said, well, why do I need to actually become rich? I can just look rich. I can just have all the nice things. But now what's actually happening is you don't have any wealth. You don't have any ability to have a freedom. You have the nice stuff. You have the Rolex on your wrist, but you have no time. You have the BMW in your way, but you have no freedom to go anywhere. And so then you get stuck in game of payments. You're constantly working just to pay your bills. You're working to make ends meet as opposed to actually making yourself rich, because all of your money is going to make everybody around you rich. You're making Apple rich. You're making BMW rich. You're making Gucci rich. You're making everybody around you rich except yourself. And yeah, you have the nice stuff, and it looks like you made it. But in reality, what you're doing is you're making other people actually rich, and people that are actually becoming rich are the people that are financially. It's not the people that were born rich. It's not the people that had these fancy things given to them. In fact, most people in America that become millionaires are self-made. These are people that do it themselves. And it starts with the financial education of understanding if you use your money differently, you can become a C-towner instead of just trying to look rich. And once you own the assets, you own the stocks, you own the real estate, you own the businesses, you own the investments that make you money. Well, no, these investments can buy you BMW. These investments can buy you vacations. These investments can buy you fancy clothes. They can buy you all luxury stuff without you having to work hard for it. Now, it's your money that's working to make you more money that's buying you all the luxury stuff. And now you don't have to worry about price because you don't have to work to make the payments. You don't have to work to afford it. It's your money that's working to make it. And the reason why this is so difficult is because it requires you to take a step back, not have the nice things today, but the assets which you can't show off. I can't show off my stock portfolio. I can't show off my rental property portfolio. I can't show off my business. But I own these assets which now pay me. And then I can use those payments to buy freedom. I can use those payments to buy me more liabilities. But it's a completely different mindset shift. And it requires you to go through that decade of sacrifice. Notice how I don't say the 6 months of hard work. I call it the decade of sacrifice. Because if you go through that decade of sacrifice where you work hard to spend less, earn more, and invest like crazy, by the end of that decade, you're going to have a completely different financial life. But it requires that hard work, and nobody in the internet wants to talk about it because everybody wants to sell you the ability to get rich in months or days by following the 6-step system, when in reality, it's about investing your money, owning the right assets, doing the research, and sticking with it for the long term. And if you can do it, well, now you own the assets that can actually make you wealthy. But that's the name of the game. And trust me, I've been there. When I was young, when I was in my early years, my dream cruise to be a BMW. They don't make it anymore, but the BMW was my dream car. And I remember looking at Instagram or whatever social media I was on back there, and I would see these kids who were like in their young as saying, "They make $1 a year," and I'm driving around in a BMW I. And it made no sense to me because that car costs more than $1 a year. So, how are they affording that car? And then I started to realize that there's a lot of people in the internet that show off this fancy lifestyle who can't actually afford it. And they show you this fancy lifestyle just to get you to buy some program or to get some likes or to get whatever clout that they want. When in reality, well, the silent. Some people want to make a lot of noise. They want to flash it, show it off. Good for them. But the majority of people who are doing the tear trying to cover something up. And that's why I want you to understand them. Yes, there are some people that can afford all the nice stuff. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to have the nice stuff and be able to afford it. But there's a lot of people that are living a very fancy and very luxurious and very lavish lifestyle, but they can't actually afford it. And it's difficult because when you develop that minority mindset and you actually want to build wealth, well, now you got to start making sacrifices. Maybe you drive around in a beat-up car. Maybe you live in a smaller home. Maybe you stop eating out. Maybe you stop going on vacations for a period of your life. That way, you can enjoy the rest of your life and never have to worry about money again. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, Andil.